This is a catastrophic and historic winter storm ongoing right now. Stay tuned until the stream starts to get more info. This is a catastrophic and historic winter storm ongoing right now. Stay tuned until the stream starts to get more info. This is a catastrophic and historic winter storm ongoing right now. Stay tuned until the stream starts to get more info. This is a catastrophic and historic winter storm ongoing right now. Stay tuned until the stream starts to get more info. This is a catastrophic and historic winter storm ongoing right now. Stay tuned until the stream starts to get more info. This is a catastrophic and historic winter storm ongoing right now. Stay tuned until the stream starts to get more info. This is a catastrophic and historic winter storm ongoing right now. Stay tuned until the stream starts to get more info. This is a catastrophic and historic winter storm ongoing right now. Stay tuned until the stream starts to get more info. Hello, welcome to the stream. The stream is on and working. But Cody Hudson's stream is not apparently. We have a catastrophic and historic winter and ice storm uh, happening right now across a lot of the United States here. Um, and it's looking. I think we just here. I need a. I don't know why it's not working, but there we go. Okay, I fixed that one. I think the Winter Storm watches are still outdated, but we did just cross 100 Winter Storm warnings here, and yeah, the Winter Storm watches are updated. I don't know why they did it before, but um, did we get any of our chaser feeds back? No. Right before the stream, there was, I guess, a major outage, and we lost almost every single chaser's footage here. So, do you have Copic? That's a no. Alright, but that's okay. Because what we do here, I'll turn off the warnings. It's a lot to look at. There we go. That's easier to look at here. But we have, Cody Hudson over here in northwest Arkansas, around Jasper. Getting some footage as you got some snow flurries entering Arkansas now. But the big story right now is going to be the ice storm here to the south. It's almost definitely going to be catastrophic. It's almost definitely going to be historic. It's almost definitely gonna make headlines. It already has, and we didn't even get to the worst of it yet. But I just did a pre-stream before this. You can join my Discord server if you want to be in the next one. I believe link should be below. I can double check that. Yeah, so we have Discord link below, and we're just gonna start our coverage here. Testing. There we go. All right, we're back. Woo hoo hot diggity dog. But yeah, so we have a catastrophic and historic winter storm currently ongoing in the Texas Oklahoma area, south northwest and southwest Arkansas, but not in the middle. Northern Louisiana, northwest and northern Mississippi, almost all of Tennessee, almost all of Kentucky, most of Illinois, southwest Indiana, most of Missouri, and most of Kansas. Right now, we might be starting to get our first snow flurries in places like Virginia and West Virginia right now. Even Ohio could be getting their first snow flurries right about now. But this area, this little dry air region right here in Arkansas, will get filled in with moisture. Well, there's gonna be a ton of moisture coming in from the west. This moisture is currently in. Moisture I'm talking about is this moisture right in here. That's currently connecting with this burst of moisture over here. This moisture is going to be heading to the east. And as this moisture reaches there, there's going to be an explosion of freezing rain right in here. That's going to move like this. Or I should say explosion of freezing rain, basically this whole area here. From Memphis down to Dallas. And that's gonna kinda just give second wave of freezing rain to places like Tupelo. And then it's gonna kinda shift north. It's gonna go into places like Virginia and North Carolina. Before going out to sea. That's not before riding the East Coast, in places like DC could get up to about a quarter inch, and even NYC could get up to a tenth of an inch. But Massachusetts, this shouldn't be a big problem for you at all. Maybe places around Cape Cod could get a little bit of ice, but not too much, I don't think, here. We'll get this guy up right now. Alright, we have a couple mesoscale discussions I want to read off here, especially this one about freezing rain. Okay? Freezing rain mixed with sleet is expected to expand across parts of the Tennessee Valley to the southern Appalachians through late afternoon. The most likely corridor for that word, cruciation, I can't talk, appears centered on north central Mississippi, northwest Alabama, and southeast Tennessee. This is from Brams, so that's cool. Oh, I would also like to mention, we have a slight risk of severe weather tomorrow, including a threat for tornadoes. Let's look at that summary. Severe thunderstorms are possible across parts of the eastern Gulf Coast states Sunday morning and afternoon. Damaging gusts and a few tornadoes are the main concerns. This is also from, This one from Bentley is about winter mixed precipitation. Expanding area, mostly sleet, will continue northeast through the afternoon. Winter mixed precipitation from Grams. Moderate to heavy freezing rain and sleet are expected to persist across the Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas to Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi regions into early afternoon. liquid equivalent precipitation rates of a tenth to a quarter inch per hour should be common, locally up to a half inch per hour. This is for areas in this specific light blue little oval there. So that includes Shreveport, that includes Monroe, that includes places like even Rolling Fork, El Dorado, Clarksdale, Greenwood. The one over here that we read just a second ago, in this purple and light blue. This includes Oklahoma City, Lubbock, Wichita Falls, Lawton, and all places in between. Like Plainview. This one, the most concerning one in my opinion, right here in the purple outline, about the freezing rain potential. This will affect places anywhere from Greenwood up towards Tupelo, Florence, Huntsville, Columbia, Chattanooga, and Knoxville. But let's go back to our composite reflectivity, I guess you call it. And we have extensive freezing rain, extreme freezing rain. We have some sleet in Memphis at the moment, and Jackson across this little dividing line in central Tennessee. Nashville is on the snow side of this line, but that might not last for much longer. You see, we are going to have a major shift in precipitation coming up eventually from, again, this little dry air being hit by the non-dry air. And this will cause massive amounts of freezing rain and other precipitation like that. So Little Rock, you're going to be getting massive amounts of freezing rain and precipitation next coming hours. I believe closer to around 8-9 p.m. Places Chattanooga, Huntsville, Florence, especially Tupelo, Greenwood. You guys are going to be getting in. You have rounds and rounds of freezing rain coming. This is the area that we're concerned with for catastrophic and historic, even crippling ice totals up to, but probably a bit lower than 3 inches of ice. I have a graphic here to show how extreme 3 inches of ice is. I need to pull it up here, but it's insane, okay? 3 inches of ice is easily in the catastrophic range. But there we go. I am going to let me just add it in through OBS itself. Alright, here we go. We have significant totals. This is how dangerous ice can be, okay? Under a quarter of an inch with under 50 mph winds, minimal risk of damage, maybe a couple outages here and there. But we enter some winds with that amount of ice, and could get some maybe more power outages lasting longer. But roads are no longer safe to drive on at this point. Any more ice to half an inch to a quarter of an inch with and basically any wind will become extremely dangerous with power outages lasting upwards of a day. Roads are completely, you cannot drive on them anymore, basically, at that point. as we enter that half an inch to an inch range, we can see places where you could have widespread power outages, and not only that, tree limbs could be falling off of the trees because of how heavy that ice is. Hundreds of pounds of ice. I saw somewhere an analogy where an inch of ice on trees is like 500 golden retrievers or something, something like that. Once you enter the, 3/4 of an inch to inch and a half, so you have prolonged and widespread utility interruptions with extensive damage to main distribution feeder lines and some high voltage transmission lines and structures. Outages could last over a week in this kind of ice. Anywhere between, if you have half of an inch of ice with extreme winds, which we're not expecting, we're expecting any probably around these two, with the 15 to 25 mile per hour area. But that means 1/4 of an inch to an inch and a half, and anywhere more, is catastrophic damage to entire exposed utility systems, including both distribution and transmission networks. Outages could last several weeks in some areas, and shelters may be needed. Here we have from the Weather Prediction Center, the extreme kind of, this is the impact map, okay? Major impacts from, north of Lubbock through OKC, through Tulsa, up towards St. Louis. This is happening right now. South of St. Louis to the northeast Ohio Valley, major impacts, widespread major impacts. Winter Storm Severity Index, that's what this is. Pittsburgh, major impacts. DC, upwards towards Baltimore, Philadelphia, New York City, upstate New York, and the Appalachian Mountains of Pennsylvania, all of Massachusetts, all of Connecticut, almost all of Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Vermont, and Maine, major impacts. Further to the south, this is more of an ice risk just north of Houston, could have major impacts. Northern Louisiana, major impacts. Southeast Arkansas, major impacts. Mississippi actually could get the highest level there is, extreme impacts. This is where travel is not advised at all. If you have to, only if you have to, may I suggest that you drive very, very cautiously. If you just need to get groceries or you're going to get a Happy Meal, do not go. You got food at home. And for once, they're right. Okay? Widespread closures and disruptions. So the stores are probably closed anyway in Tupelo. So you're not getting your Happy Meal anyway, so it's too bad. You might as well just stay home. And it's life-threatening in the extreme impact zone. We have another extreme impact zone over here in the Appalachian Mountains, very far north and east Georgia, and on the South Carolina, northwest South Carolina and North Carolina border. We have some sparkles of extreme impacts near Asheville, North Carolina, where Hurricane Helene, I believe Helene, anyway, you get my point. Catastrophic damage is already here a couple years back. Could have extreme impacts again. Could even have extreme impacts in Virginia for extreme freezing rain in the southwest portions of Virginia. We have a couple here. Okay. Here are the probabilities of accumulating 1 inch in the next 24 hours. If we, here, let's move forward a little bit. So this would be for tomorrow. This is your chance. This is your probabilities of getting 1 inch of snow tomorrow. And It is 95 to 100% from New Mexico all the way through DC into Boston. 100%. You were getting 1 inch of snow. 2 inches of snow, about the same. Boston, you might get more. You have more of a chance of getting 2 or more inches of snow, maybe the next day, overnight. But otherwise, pretty much the same. New Mexico, I don't know. You might not get 2 inches, but Lubbock, you might. You have very high likelihood. 4 inches. Tomorrow is pretty much reserved for the Ohio Valley, into Pennsylvania. Places even like DC aren't completely in this. But today, we have higher probabilities tomorrow than today. The chances of over 4 inches are still pretty significant. 6 inches are even lower today, but tomorrow are quite a bit higher over here near State College in Hagerstown and Cumberland, Maryland, and Pennsylvania. When we get to the 12-inch, 8-inch range, this is where our probabilities go down significantly. And, even this would be Monday here, Boston. This is when you're getting a lot of snow. 4 inches, almost guaranteed in Boston. 6 inches almost guaranteed up here in Maine near Portland. And 8 inches is basically guaranteed for no one, unless you're in the water. But high chances all around. And even a chance for 18 inches or more over here, just off the coast, really. And over a foot, Portland, you have some decent chances. That is around 60 to 80%. But if we just go 72 hours here, you can go probably with 8 inches. Boom. You can see widespread dark reds, here in Pennsylvania, upstate New York, partially helped by lake effect snow over here. Massachusetts and Northeast. Over a foot, still see some decently high chances over here, Pennsylvania and Maryland. Upstate New York got some very high chances as well, and Boston obviously got some very high chances. And the higher up you go, the least likely it gets, but there is a 5 to 10% chance that you could get over 2 feet of snow over here. It's a very low chance, but it's possible, and you gotta know that these people at the Weather Prediction Center, this is probably more of a conservative outlook as well. But there's no really chance of 30 inches or more. But it's pretty crazy. Freezing rain over the next 72 hours. If you want ice for some reason, if you want 1/10 of an inch, well, you got it right here. From Richmond down to Greenville, and a little dot right here, at Nashville through Tupelo, Oxford, Greenwood, Greenville, even Rolling Fork is included in here. Down to Monroe, you got it. There's your 1/10 of an inch of ice. If you want 1/4 of an inch, or if you want to prepare for 1/4 of an inch, here you go. Same areas. Monroe through Rolling Fork, Greenville, Greenwood, Oxford. Tupelo, you might have a bit lower probabilities for this, but Nashville, you also might have a little bit lower probabilities, but it's almost there. So I would prepare as if 1/4 of an inch of ice is guaranteed. If you are in the oranges or reds, it's a little too late if you are in this section. But if you are over here in the east, you have today. You have until probably around 8 p.m. If I'm being honest. You have 6 hours, so you need to go. If you want 1/2 of an inch, your highest probabilities are Monroe, Greenville, Greenwood, Oxford. And 1 inch is even possible near Oxford, Mississippi. And even in Greensboro, North Carolina, this is why you see the people on the internet going, this is catastrophic. This is going to go bad, blah, blah, blah. Okay, this is why. Because of the high probabilities of an inch of snow. An inch of, not snow, ice. An inch of ice is catastrophic. More than catastrophic. It is crippling. It is really bad for infrastructure here. Again, just take a quick gander. You see any purple? If you are in that purple, if you're in this western purple zone, it is too late. If you haven't prepared now, it is too late to prepare. There is freezing rain falling right now. You could get upwards of an inch to an inch and a half of ice. And if you want to know how dangerous that is, here we go. If you want to know how dangerous an inch and a half of snow, ice is, you could either be in this 4 category or the 5 category. It's not, you might be in the 2 or 3 where you could get some power outages for maybe a day or 2. No. You might get power outages for weeks on end. Several weeks, 5 to 10 days. It's gonna be catastrophic. I can't put it into words how catastrophic it will be. But we have the radar right here. Those same places we just listed off, Oxford, Greenwood, it's freezing rain right now. This little salmon colored blob right here is all freezing rain. It is completely freezing rain there. We have snow in the OKC Metro near Tulsa. And I need to check if our chasers feeds are back up. Yes, they are. Alright, that's awesome sauce. So we don't need that Oxford camera anymore. But this is just not a good situation here. I'll read again this mesoscale discussion for freezing rain. Mixed with sleet. Liquid equivalent rates of 0.05 to a quarter of an inch an hour will remain common. And yeah, a bunch of weather talk that none of you will probably understand. But again, OKC, you're getting some, if you're a snow lover in OKC, you're having the best time of your life right now. You got some heavy snow in Weatherford. El Reno, you're gonna get some heavy snow coming your way. OKC Metro, you're gonna get some heavy snow coming your way. That's an awesome arrow. Tulsa, you're getting some batches of heavy snow. Even right now, you can see on this camera, which I'm going to replace with Copic. Assuming his stream's up, which it is not. Predator is up, so we'll take him as well. And, alright. The reason I had to put chasers up now is because there was just a crazy signal outage like 30 minutes ago. And it was, we lost chasers for a while, but we're back now. And this catastrophic ice storm continues, along with these heavy snow bands in Clarksville and Bowling Green. This is, oh boy, it is looking like it's going to be historic. I know I put it in the title. I know it's gonna be like, oh yeah, obviously it's in the title. But it's really gonna be historic. If you just saw, it just dropped, but we had 100 winter storm warnings for a time. Here, let me actually turn on the warnings. Boom! Look at this. Winter storm warnings from Colorado, New Mexico, and Texas all the way up into Maine. What? It's It's insane. It's insane how insane this winter storm is. Obviously, you got your ice storm warnings over here, all the way from Texas up towards Nashville and Atlanta through Greensboro. You have you have ice storm warnings for yourselves, and it's still looking like it's could be a it looks like it could maybe be a little bit longer until Little Rock sees precipitation again. But when that precipitation comes, it's gonna come quick. And it's gonna be very. It's gonna be fierce. It's gonna be strong. Um, it's you don't want to be unprepared in this. If you really need to make any last minute purchases from the stores, assuming they're open, in Little Rock, your time for that is now, because probably in the next 6 hours, this precipitation will close in on Little Rock and get a ton of freezing rain all in this area from, maybe DFW Metro even through Tupelo. And Little Rock is included in that. We are going to look at some models here. So we'll look at the HRRR. This is what it could look like right now, which is fairly accurate. There's a bit more precipitation here than in reality, but so if we move this forward, we could see, I do think it's overdoing the precipitation just a little bit, but otherwise, like you got it. You got this precipitation in Tupelo and Greenwood and Monroe and Shreveport. You got this precipitation in OKC. You got this precipitation in Clarksville and Franklin, all the way up towards Pikeville, right? And then you move it forward just a couple more hours. This is 4 p.m. Eastern here. Look at this. This model specifically is showing freezing rain starting back in just an hour, basically. You don't have a lot of time. The time is out. If you don't have flashlights, batteries, maybe even like a weather radio if you really need it, food, water, things that don't need to be in a refrigerator, get those now. Get a generator running if you have one. If you don't, ask a relative if they have one that you can borrow. Or go to a house of someone that has a generator. Because, hour or so from now, you might not have a generator. Your power could go out for days without a generator. And it's going to be extremely hard to get one. So I'd imagine the demand will be extremely high and the roads are going to be icy to even get to the store itself. Moving, this is 3 more hours. Oh my gosh. Alright, well, we have Nashville and heavy freezing rain. This is so much freezing rain. This is freezing rain in Mexico. All the way up to Asheville, North Carolina. This is at 7 p.m. Eastern today. So probably for most of these people, 6 p.m. But, like, heavy freezing rain like this in Mexico. And then you see some possibly heavy freezing rain, maybe some thunder ice in the DFW metro. You can see some thunder ice here in close to Little Rock here in El Dorado. Well, to me anyway. Oxford, Bird, gosh. You could be getting heavy freezing rain around this time. Nashville, you're gonna. I said earlier, you're getting snow now, but I don't know about later. This is that later. It's gonna transition into freezing rain. It's gonna be significant freezing rain. Knoxville, significant freezing rain. Little Rock, again, significant freezing rain. And this freezing rain will not stop. You might get some thunder. Look at that. That is incredible freezing rain in Little Rock. That is extremely heavy, along with possible thunder ice. Still in Shreveport, up towards Little Rock and Mountain View and Mountain Home. Look how sharp this cutoff is, too. So, McAllister, I don't know if you're going to get heavy snow or heavy freezing ice, but you got to prepare for both at that point. Because it could be either or, because of just how sharp the cutoff line is here. But that is incredible freezing rain. Let's measure that. That is like, wow. Upwards of 40 dBz. So that's like the equivalent of some very heavy snow or rain. Think of like the heavy rain you might see in a supercell. That is the amount of precipitation that will be coming down here on Little Rock. And it will be freezing. Tupelo! Oh my, Tupelo! You got over, possibly upwards of 50! Look, you can see a comparison. This would be like a supercell here. Just extends up. And that's the type of freezing rain we're gonna get. It's insane. That is so much ice just sticking right there. And it's gonna be super widespread. Over here, we might even have Virginia Beach getting out on some ice. And Mexico at the same time. Look at that frame! That is insane. Snow in Arizona all the way up through Virginia. And maybe even some flurries here in, Pennsylvania, Delaware, New Jersey, Maryland. Chicago is going to get it on snow at the same time as Arizona and Mexico. What in the world is this storm? But look at that. That is freezing ice, or freezing rain, I should say, in Little Rock. From about here, this would be in about an hour or so, all the way until here, pretty much. That's about 20 hours of freezing rain. 20 hours of freezing rain adds up quite quickly, as you might imagine. But, hey, at the very least, you could transition back into snow for a little bit. And then it's gone for Little Rock. But not for the Northeast. Definitely not for the Northeast. Let's look at the Northeast now. Alright, so we'll start right here. This is about 10-ish hours. Probably closer to 8 hours. So this would be 10, 11 p.m. Eastern. You have, this ice reaching up towards Virginia Beach. You have flurries in D.C., New York, Pittsburgh. Move over a couple hours here. Heavy snow is now reaching D.C., Pittsburgh, Columbus, Cleveland, even Detroit and Chicago. Virginia Beach, you're kind of on that line between sleet, freezing rain, and heavy snow. So, once again, prepare for all of the above there. This is when the freezing rain situation gets really bad in the west, and it's just starting to ramp up in the east here. You still have that heavy freezing rain up here near Pikeville, down here near Wilmington, and basically all around. It's like four corners of freezing rain near Gainesville and Atlanta. Move it a couple hours more. Now this is around the time you might be waking up here in D.C. and Pittsburgh and Morgantown. Light to moderate snow could just be starting for you in New York City when you wake up. Flurries in Boston and Cape Cod around this time as well. And you're still snowing in St. Louis and Oklahoma City and Chicago and Detroit. Heavy snow actually in DC around this time. Lots of sleet near Richmond, and the ice is picking up big time near Atlanta and Greensboro. Again, catastrophic. Oh my gosh. Catastrophic icing situation happening in Mississippi around this time as well. Moving forward a couple hours, and now DC, you're in that sleet, and you're now at this point. This is around maybe 10 a.m. for you. You're transitioning over closer towards, the freezing rain and the sleet. Around this time, you might see a little bit of rumbles of thunder near Birmingham and Montgomery. Where Birmingham go a couple miles to the west, and you have crippling ice. Go a couple miles to the east, you have thunderstorms. See how warm nose really very clearly here, right where that freezing rain cuts off and just turns into normal rain. So there's your warm nose coming up from the Gulf. But, so this is around the time, maybe Maryland and Moldaver Peninsula is transitioning into sleet, same with Morgantown. And, Cincinnati, you're probably, you're not gonna get any freezing rain. But, might get some heavy snow, and with a mix of sleet near Morgantown, you're basically full sleet in Philadelphia, Baltimore, Washington, D.C. Pittsburgh, you got some heavy snow too. NYC, you got some heavy snow. Almost the entire state of New York is snowing right now. The entire state of Pennsylvania is snowing. Almost the entire state of Ohio is snowing. All of Indiana is snowing. It's very widespread. Obviously, all of Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island would be snowing. But the sleet, I feel like this would be more of a wintry mix, just with the temperatures here. So it would be some snow, some sleet. But there is a chance of freezing rain in your future here. This is just after lunchtime here tomorrow. And boom, there you go. Baltimore, Washington, even maybe Philadelphia. Freezing rain. Possibly moderate, possibly heavy. But freezing rain in the big northeast. Pittsburgh, you got that warm nose reaching all the way up towards you, but you should still be snowing around this time. NYC, you're kind of on that sleet line, but you should be getting some heavy snow right now. Moldaver Peninsula and New Jersey, it's transitioned to full rain for you. The Atlantic is not doing good things for you. Let's look back a little bit and look at our severe weather. Montgomery, you got this line of storms coming for you, and couple things out here that could cause some problems. Some tornadic problems. Could get a couple embedded inside of this line too. But let's go back to our snow, where DC could be getting prolonged time of freezing rain, which could add up your totals big time. New York, you're probably mostly sleet around this time, wintry mix between sleet and heavy snow. Boston and basically most of Massachusetts is getting big time snow totals around this time. And this is also around the time that Little Rock finally is done with the winter precipitation. But again, you have freezing rain, heavy freezing rain all the way from North Carolina up towards DC. Continuing on, you see some of that winter precipitation finally fading off of Washington, D.C. Around 9 p.m. Tomorrow night. New York and Massachusetts, New England, you're still dealing with this. Pittsburgh, you're still dealing with heavy snow around this time. And down here near Virginia Beach and Richmond, you're still dealing with heavy freezing rain. But that freezing rain will fade out of this area, fade out of the mid-Atlantic around this time. In Massachusetts, you're getting pummeled. You're getting buckets of snow coming down. Take those Home Depot buckets, Make a big one, dump it right there. It's Massachusetts now. New York, you might transition briefly into freezing rain. Same with Philadelphia, might be a little longer than New York, but I think they will probably transition to a little bit of freezing ice, but it will not be significant. Um, Cape Cod could transition briefly into sleet, but I don't think it should impact your snow totals too much. Except for this rain afterwards, it could wash away some snow. You could even have some snow back here still in Pittsburgh and Ohio, but Massachusetts still getting a ton of snow here, and by the end of this model run, this goes further than this model run. This goes further at 40 hours out. We just lost 2 chasers. That probably happened a while ago and I didn't notice till now. But anyway, so we're gonna, it's insane. We can check some snow totals briefly here. For the Northeast. Alright, for the Northeast, you could be seeing, around DC, maybe 9 inches, Baltimore, maybe 10. Pittsburgh, you're going to get pummeled here. You're going to get 18 to 20 inches, in my opinion. New York, you're going to get maybe up to a foot. Over here near Boston, you're going to get pummeled. More and more snow. I think there are going to be some areas that reach 2 feet of snow. Cape Cod, I think it would be much more if your snow totals weren't getting washed away here, but I think a foot of snow should suffice for you. But Cincinnati, Columbus, the whole Ohio River Valley here, big time snow, up to 2 feet. And back near Oklahoma could get up to, I think this is underdoing it a little bit. This is also a model run that was created after some precipitation already started here, so I'd give you guys a foot. St. Louis, maybe up to a foot, right? And Little Rock, wish you luck. We can look at total freezing rain. Ooh, it's not gonna be a fun one. But let's bring that all the way out, and oh my gosh, what? Okay, this is the kind of situation where it's bad, You're seeing these 2-inch totals on the models, and then you just start seeing it in real life, and it's really bad. DC, upwards of maybe 1/3 of an inch. Baltimore, upwards of 1/3 of an inch. Philadelphia, upwards of 2/10. Upwards of 1/10 in New York. Back down here near Atlanta, could get up towards 2 inches. Salem could get up towards 2 inches. But this is our big corridor right here from Monroe to Bowling Green, where catastrophic and crippling icing will occur. Little Rock, you could get upwards of 1 inch, which is still crippling. Anything more than like 1/2 of an inch is catastrophic. Mississippi's really gonna get pummeled in this. So basically, just if you live in Mississippi, except for the southwest portions of it, you should be prepared to lose power for weeks. And you're too late if you haven't already. And we just lost like every chaser's speed. What is going on? So we are going to go back to this mode. Here we go. And hope I can get some of these chasers' feeds back. There we go. I don't know what happened there, but I think I just have to refresh your streams. Pappenheim's back. We'll bring up Pappenheim. Never mind, he's dead. No, no, hold on. Let me rephrase that. He is not dead. His stream is. This is sad. Alright, we'll bring Copic up. Oh my gosh, jump scare, but bring Copic up here. Boop. And, Yep, there we go. So, again, we have catastrophic and historic winter storm ongoing right now, and areas like Mississippi will be getting pummeled by ice. Areas in Massachusetts getting pummeled by snow, upwards of 2 feet. It's not. I think they're um, school closures in Mississippi could last weeks, and that's not good, obviously, because learning is important. Unfortunately, it is important, and unfortunately, we have to do it. So, I believe we have Cody's and Jaden's feeds are down right now. But let's look over here. Okay, so you got some heavy snow bands entering your area right about now. Plainview and Lubbock, you got some heavy snow entering your area. St. Louis, even, you got some heavy snow, moderate to heavy snow up there. Chicago, you might have some snow flurries starting right up there. So, plenty of precipitation. Pikeville, if we at the start of the stream, Pikeville, you were just getting flurries. You're getting moderate snow now, so that must feel good. This loop doesn't quite show it, but first stream started, Beckley wasn't even in this gray. Now it's like well in the blue, so that's pretty cool. But you still got a couple kind of snow showers, I guess, entering the Little Rock area. Some localized areas of these could be heavy, but I don't think it's a major concern. Okay. And Jane's feed is down again. Awesome. But I wish that we had more radar sites. But yeah, let's look at Rolling Forks camera here. Look at the roads. Look at the roads. Those are icy roads. This is ice. And lots of it. It's not high resolution enough to like see the icicles coming off the buildings, but there are icicles coming off the buildings. You have a better one? I want an example of icicles coming off, but we might not get that here, so let's just say okay. But you gotta imagine that there are icicles everywhere. I'm gonna see if I can find some freezing rain pictures for you guys. Let's see. It's okay. So, also, I would like to say that there's already been so many car crashes. Um, there's so many car crashes happening because of this. That, oh man, it's not looking good here. I'll try to find some freezing rain pictures for you again, but we shall see. Alright, let me. Boom, there we go. Here. Here, you got some freezing rain. This is the beginning stages of something catastrophic. You can already see a ton of ice on these twigs here coming off the tree. That is probably hundreds of pounds just weighing this tree down. I won't be surprised if we get some reports that limbs snap, land on power lines, and then we don't have power anymore. I wouldn't be surprised to hear those reports coming in pretty soon, if not now. I will check a I will check a map now of power outages. Oh my, alright. I don't know if I can show this on stream, so I won't, but just imagine a lot of red around Shreveport. There is a lot of power outages anywhere from north of Houston to Monroe right now. We have even more power outages starting in the Rolling Fork area, actually, in Sharkey County. Not a lot right now are reporting it, but there is some power outages starting in Mississippi now. And if I'm being honest, I'm surprised it didn't start sooner in areas over here near Cleveland, Mississippi. They have very original names over here, apparently. But Clarksville, Lebanon, you're still in that heavy snow region. But this, I don't know, this freezing line, the freezing rain is creeping ever so closer. It's getting pretty close to Nashville right now. So if you're in Nashville, it's getting pretty close. Like, this is an hour ago. You had like easily 50 miles, at least, between even sleet. I would doubt you have 20 anymore. And this is why it is so catastrophic. Well, it's not catastrophic yet, but I hope everyone in Nashville is prepared already. Because these people in the Northeast, I showed you models earlier. I can show them again if needed. But these people, these people in the Northeast, they have time to prepare. And in Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, and New England, you guys have time to prepare for your winter storm. I just hope these people are taking that time to prepare. I know that some people I know have gone to check on other neighbors and stuff. So keep in contact with neighbors, friends, and family. See if they have maybe working generators, or if they want to come use yours at your house or something. Or go to their house, etc. Vice versa. It's a good thing to check on them. Let me see if we can get Pappenheim back. There we go. He's entering some snow right now. You can see it on his stream. But, it also could be a mix of freezing rain right now near Pine Bluff. This is just a shower, so it won't last too long here. But, man, that is a lot of snow. That's a lot of snow. This is just a crazy thing to see, honestly. This is a crazy thing to see. You don't see this too often. You just do not see this often at all. Bowling Green, I hope you're enjoying your snow up there. And oh yes, I'm near Dallas. Nick! Ooh, we love Nick. We don't have room for him, bye. But, we do have some snow and freezing rain showers heading up into Dallas right now, in that DFW area. Okay, so you still got these heavy snow bands. Tulsa, you got these heavy snow bands. Basically, most of Oklahoma, you have these heavy snow bands moving through. Lubbock, you have some heavy snow still. Kansas, the snow's generally moving out at this point, but you still got some heavy snow near Wichita and Kansas City. Um, St. Louis and Springfield, it's got some decent snow going. Louisville, you got some decent snow. Bowling Green, Clarksville, you got some good snow going right there, especially in Clarksville. You got some heavy snow. Build up your snow totals before they plummet because of ice. But, Pikeville even got some. Oh, never mind. Yep, there we go. They got some snow going too. Visibility is dropping rapidly, but it is snowing there. And if I am not mistaken, they will be also in that threat for uh for ice. But right now it's not a problem. You know what? I need to go do something, so I'm going to. Alright, I will loop this and I will go do my thing. Alright, we're back. Tulia, you are now getting heavy snow. If you're in Texas, Amarillo, it's coming. Most of you have snow, but I don't know about heavy snow just yet. It is coming your way, so don't you worry. Alright. What we need to do now is we need to get ready to see catastrophic impacts in Tupelo, Oxford, and Sam Camp. What? I have not seen this chaser before. That's fun. But anyway. It's this reflectivity, we can see like how heavy some of the snow we have is. That is heavy snow. That is very, very heavy snow. What is wrong? I'm just knocking something over. That's not good. Let's put that back. There we go. That's very, very heavy snow right there. I personally think it's easier to see these bands of snow on reflectivity. You can see here, boom, 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 boom. Just bands of snow. And then you can tell it's rain, or more than not, because it's blobs. And usually much heavier than the snow. But I guess in this case, that is snow because of temperatures across all altitudes. This is according to the HRRR model that we looked at earlier. Here's a bit more snow totals. Like you can see upwards of 2 feet, near 2 feet, near 2 feet. You know, DC, 9-10 inches. Baltimore, maybe 10-11 inches. Philadelphia, 9-10 inches again. NYC could get upwards of 15 inches. Boston, 21 inches. Portland, 20 inches. Right, Cincinnati, that's it. Cincinnati, 21 inches. Right? Lots of snow. If we look at the 10-1, it's going to be less. And just, what did I say? It's going to be less. This one will probably be a little more, yeah. I think this one might be overestimating it a little bit. Maybe bring it more north, but this one would be more, this is how much snow you'll see on the ground Monday afternoon. DC, you might see, we'll say 6 to 8. I will say 9 inches there. Pittsburgh could see 20 inches on the ground. Philadelphia, 6 to 8 inches again. Yep. New York City, a foot. Boston, a foot and a half. Upstate New York could see over 2 feet of snow by Monday afternoon. Oklahoma, your snow's gonna start melting, but you'll still have a good 9 inches on the ground in some areas. St. Louis, you'll still have a good foot on the ground by Monday afternoon. So I don't think you guys have to worry about snow melting, especially with the temperatures we have. Speaking of the temperatures we have, where some of the heavy snow is right now, it is 4 degrees. And let's look at a place where you have some freezing rain, like Tupelo. Looks like not a lot of wind, which is good. But the temperature is below freezing, which is why we have freezing rain. I think we are going to see these ones go up, but I don't know how much. It might be just a little bit less, or a little bit more, or a lot more. But let's look at some of these temperatures up here, because what in the world? Hold on, wait, what? -8, -2, -2, -2, -1, 0, 96? Is there a fire? Did they launch a missile? Like, what? Look, even in Mexico, 43. 43, 48, right? So quite cold there. DC, where you're gonna see quite a bit of snow, 21, Baltimore, 20, Philadelphia, I guess the closest we'll get is 18, because everything surrounding it is 18. NYC, 17, Boston, 15. And, yeah. And to repeat, a catastrophic and historic winter storm and ice storm is currently ongoing anywhere from New Mexico, I guess at this point, up through West Virginia and Virginia. But tomorrow, it'll be more like Texas through Maine. It's gonna get big. It's gonna get big fast. So, yeah. Braden Coppock is right up here in Union City. Corey Gherkin is right down here in freezing rain near Tupelo. Sam Camp is near Florence, also in the freezing rain, and Nick is in a DFW Metro, but currently does not have his stream up. And what just happened to my desk? Alright, I fixed it. What in the world is going on? I'm gonna turn these off, so that is a lot to look at. Whoa. I'm just getting them right here. That's awesome. It's not who I clicked. But up there. It's down. Alright, well, that's unfortunate. We can see exactly whose streams are up right now. That's cool. No, I did not want to turn those off. There we go. Like, whose streams are up? Who is that? Well, Brandon Coppock has a site there. Okay. Going sightseeing, I guess, during a catastrophic winter storm, but I digress. If you guys want to see something cool, go to Union City. Go right here, I guess. Right around here. I still didn't turn off the right thing. There we go. I wouldn't be surprised if they issue a new mesoscale discussion pretty soon for this area. We're probably gonna label it as a mixed winter precip, like this one, or winter mixed precipitation. Yep. This one is labeled for freezing rain. I think this one will be labeled, assuming we get one here, for winter mixed precipitation. This one actually expires in 6 minutes, so I would definitely expect a new one here soon. But I couldn't tell you exactly when. And if you guys want to take my settings for some of these Mesosphere discussions, there you go. Alright. Drew News, okay. Dude, Drew News over here getting desperate for views. My channel's dead, but that's okay. That is a much less of a problem than Tupelo getting 2 inches of ice. Oh, I see. Alright, so that's cool. I see now, but areas like Tupelo, freezing rain, it's hard to see the freezing rain on the cameras, but on the ground you can see the effects of it. As that ice freezes on the trees and stuff. If I can I get Sheer, is there a chance you can find any images or anything I can show on stream to show what the freezing rain is doing? Alright. Alright. Um Let me see. Okay, so areas around Joplin are seeing moderate to heavy snow around this time. There's still this like giant blob of extremely heavy snow to the northwest of Oklahoma City and to the uh, southwest of Oklahoma City too. And whenever you find something, just ping me and we can pull it up. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna need you to repeat that one more time.
Between freezing rain and sleet.
Alright.
Actual freezing rain event right now, but I'm looking for what's actually suitable for the stream.
Alright, we just had an audio bug there, but I can summarize what you just said. We have a graphic now of what of a good example, a good graphic of what freezing rain and sleet, the difference. Freezing rain is like a glaze on a donut, where the rain that's falling above, there's like warmer air above 32 degrees above you. As that rain falls, it doesn't have time to freeze again, and it falls as rain. But as soon as it hits the surface, it freezes, which is causing our big ice totals. Now, sleet, on the other hand, is it's rain further up than freezing rain, and then falls down, um, and falls down, but it has time to freeze, so it falls as like pellets, like sprinkles. Freezing rain is a glazed donut. Sleet is a sprinkled donut. So this would be like if it just lands on your head, it's like a little ouchie. But it's nothing catastrophic or really damaging in general. Freezing rain, it's rain, but then it freezes and that becomes catastrophic. Um, but this is from Battlebird on Twitter. So that is good graphic there. I can get back to the. There we go. For in Russia, for example, we have some extremely heavy snow that could look something like this in some areas. This is the image we showed before to show what freezing rain looks like. And it layers up on the tree branches. So, here you go for that. So that would be like Russian ice. That's the kind of ice they're seeing over here in Russia. Um, from the looks of it, it looks like some of this dry air in Arkansas, the north side of it's starting to kind of get flattened out as there is some precipitation moving through far northern Arkansas right now near Mountain Home and Bentonville. But Little Rock, you're still good. You're still dry for now. But in the coming hours, probably in the next 3 to 5-ish hours, you will not be fine. You will be in full blown freezing rain. It's gonna be catastrophic. Mississippi is gonna be in freezing rain for the next hot second here. Easily could be over 48 hours of freezing rain in Mississippi. Let's look at the HRRR model, latest run. This is what we could have right about now in some of these areas. Arkansas, it's depicting some showers. I think it's a little bit more precipitation, showing more precipitation than we actually have right now. Otherwise, this is pretty accurate to what we're seeing right now. We can just switch over. Again, a little bit more precipitation down here than in reality, but overall, this is a pretty good starting place. And we're just gonna let it run. And holy man, it's just not good. It's honestly, I'm struggling to describe how catastrophic it's gonna be. But according to this model, that doesn't mean it's gonna happen at this time. But according to this model, maybe around 5 p.m. Eastern, so maybe 4 p.m. for you guys. Freezing rain is here, and it's doing lots of big stuff. So this is most of Arkansas at this point. Still heavy snow in Oklahoma City. Still heavy freezing rain in Texas through Louisiana and Mississippi. This is around the time that the freezing rain will reach Nashville and cause catastrophic to crippling damage there, along with Memphis. Clarksville will stay heavy rain around this time. We will have rain all the way from New Mexico all the way up towards Kansas City, Peoria, Illinois, through Cincinnati, and then Pikeville. Moving a little bit further, you see this huge rush of moisture coming up from Mexico that almost immediately turns into freezing rain. We're around 10 p.m. tonight, 9 p.m. for you guys. There is no more dry air, clear slot in Arkansas. In fact, Arkansas at this point will be seeing some of the worst of the storm at this stage. Widespread heavy freezing rain near Little Rock and Hot Springs, Pine Bluff, and maybe some thunder ice near Shreveport and El Dorado. Dallas and Abilene, San Angelo, down into Mexico, could be seeing also heavy freezing rain around this time. Could also maybe get a little bit of thunder near Baton Rouge and New Orleans around this time as well. And it's also around the time that areas around Richmond and DC start to get their first snowfall. Catastrophic and crippling ice continues in the DFW metro, as well as Little Rock, Nashville, Memphis, Bowling Green, Clarksville, and Pikeville, into Greensboro, and Gainesville, I want to say that's how that's pronounced. But again, extremely heavy, all the way from Clarksville down to San Antonio, Texas. Right around this time, around midnight Central, 1 a.m. Eastern, DC will get its first major, I guess I wouldn't say major, but first significant enough snowfall. Pittsburgh at the same time. You'll see this widespread heavy freezing rain as well. Moving forward a little bit more. Look at this. Look at all these little, basically black dots. This is more than likely thunder ice. These are wannabe thunderstorms, but they're causing freezing rain instead of rain. So you could get some thunder as well near, Rolling Fork in Yazoo City, Greenwood, Clarksdale, Mississippi, in the early morning hours of Sunday. Around this time, also, New York City will be getting its first snowfall, as well as DC, Baltimore had been already well into their snowfall in Pittsburgh. Moving forward a little bit more, what in the world is going on here? Yazoo City, Tupelo, extremely heavy freezing rain, all the way down from Lake Charles up through Jackson and Tupelo. Bowling Green, you're getting in on some of that action too, as well as Nashville. Washington D.C. all the way up through New York City is moderate light to moderate in New York City, moderate to heavy in D.C. Pittsburgh, moderate to heavy as well. You might be getting some flurries in Massachusetts, Boston, Cape Cod. Okay, this is around the time you might wake up tomorrow, 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central. In Jackson, Mississippi, you might wake up to catastrophic icing. Your power might be out. Expect your power to be out for the next week after that, even. And it's just going to keep coming down. Same with Tupelo and Memphis. Around this time, Nashville, the freezing line will be getting pretty close to you, so you might see a transition into rain soon after this. Pikeville, you've already basically seen that transition. You'll see a bunch of sleet also forming just north of Virginia Beach into Richmond. And New York City is well into that moderate to heavy snowfall range. And Washington, D.C. will be getting probably heavy snowfall around this time. Right around this sleet line is significant and heavy snowfall, very heavy snowfall. You see this really dark blue. That is very heavy snowfall. Extending it out a little bit more, see DC is encompassed by a bunch of sleet. Wintry mix between sleet and snow, I would think, around this time. Same with Baltimore as it approaches Philadelphia and New York City. Morgantown as well. Bowling Green, basically all the areas I mentioned before for freezing rain, it's still freezing raining. Nashville, the freezing line's still pretty close, but it's not quite to you yet. Pikeville, you're well in that freezing. You're well within the freezing line, and you aren't worrying about ice very much past that point. Virginia Beach, you're getting rain. Sorry, but Philadelphia's getting very heavy snow around this point. And you're getting some pretty moderate to heavy snow bands starting in Massachusetts and Cape Cod around this time as well. Moving it forward just a little bit more. Memphis, you're getting some snow this time instead of freezing rain. Mississippi, your freezing rain has mostly cleared up as well. But if you were in Atlanta, it's not going to be fun for you. You're either getting severe weather or you're getting freezing rain. Take your pick. Sleet is widespread across from Philadelphia to DC, and where Richmond was in sleet before is now in heavy freezing rain all the way down into Atlanta. Heavy snow from NYC up towards Boston and Concord, and even Canada is getting in on this winter storm as well near Toronto. And DC will see a transition into freezing rain, I think. So will Baltimore and Philadelphia. It's Sunday night. New York City might see a brief transition into a wintry mix here. And Pittsburgh I believe, will stay snow for the majority, if not the entire event. But, moderate to maybe at sometimes locally heavy freezing rain in the DC area. But about Dartmouth Peninsula and southern Jersey, it is raining for you. Severe weather threat tomorrow is pretty much just a line of storms with a chance of some embedded tornadoes. and the DC area will be getting freezing rain for probably a couple of hours, maybe like 3 to 4 hours there, and then wintry precipitation will move out the DC area. But New York could get some freezing rain. I don't think too much, but Long Island in general could get some freezing rain. And I think Massachusetts should stay freezing rain free for the most part. And it would keep snowing past this point, but that's just when the run ends. So not much we can do about that. But we have a lot of graphics sent to us by Sheer. If he wants to explain some of them, I'll put them up on screen.
The latest one is more of a humor thing, but from the top, I sent you the WSSI probability chart, so you can see how it progresses over the whole event for different risk levels. Like you can see the chance of extreme conditions happening. The second thing is the ice accumulation. That was the most important graphic that I sent you. Possibly 1.25 inches of ice in places like Greenwood, parts of northern Mississippi. There's a big swath there from like Bastrop, Louisiana, all the way pretty much into Tennessee, where that could be possible.
I see. All right, and I think I'll show off the tree explosion later. Just because that's not really our topic right now, but we'll take a deeper look at this WSSI chart here, and we can see if we want probabilities for extreme impacts, look nowhere else but Mississippi and Tennessee, where you could have a 30 to 40% chance of extreme impacts, major impacts. That is, the Pennsylvania, Maryland area, up towards New York, and Ohio River Valley through Oklahoma, and then obviously Mississippi, Tennessee, and Louisiana. For moderate impacts, our map gets a whole lot bigger. Everywhere from Atlanta up towards Richmond, you got almost guaranteed moderate impacts. Moderate impacts guaranteed, basically, from DC up towards New York City. Guaranteed moderate impacts from Columbus to towards OKC Metro and even towards Lubbock. Guaranteed moderate impacts from Monroe, Louisiana to Nashville.
One thing that I really like about this website is that you can actually go through all the different timings and go into the next couple days and see what the impacts will be then. Can also take it away from just the winter storm impacts and put it on the snow amounts or the snow load, the actual ice accumulation, or where the blowing snow is going to be, like blizzard conditions.
Looks like our blowing snow will not be a major concern unless you are on the very east coast. That's just because of the sea, pushing some of that rain up, or not rain, snow. But, that's mostly a coast thing, and it won't be. But ice accumulation. Indeed. Again, extreme likelihood of major ice accumulation anywhere where you see colors. If you see a colored region, if you're in any colored region, be prepared for extreme, deadly, and life-threatening impacts from ice. snow load will, be mostly a problem in the Appalachian Mountains, but in the Ohio River Valley too, and as well as, northeast. Snow amount. Extreme snow amounts are basically only likely towards the Boston area, basically right on Boston. If you're in Boston, you hit the jackpot. Um, in the Ohio River Valley, you might hit the jackpot. It's kind of low chances of extreme impacts, but you got pretty good chances there. DC, you got some decent chances here too in Pennsylvania and DC. Obviously, in the Northeast, we have amazing chances. Ohio River Valley, if you're in orange or red, even yellow in this map, then you might want to pay attention to the weather for the next couple days. If you are in red or like maroon in this map, you also might want to pay attention to the weather in a couple days. And well, at this point, this is like a third of the United States. Maybe probably like a quarter to a third of the United States painted in maroon for at least minor impacts from snow. And then if you want snow, hope you love the United States, because almost 3/4 of the United States will most likely be having snow. So, yes. Yes. All right. We lost Predator. Alright, so we're just gonna replace, and Sam Cancer is gonna replace them there. Do we have Nick back? Yes, we do. Alright. This is what our radar looks like right now. Heavy snow from Lubbock into Tulsa, all the way up into St. Louis and back into Pikeville. Heavy freezing rain from Monroe up towards Columbia and Nashville. I know you've been dreading this time, this moment, but the freezing rain is coming. It's going to be there pretty soon. I would say in the next hour or two, there will be freezing rain. Areas in Arkansas where you're not already seeing precipitation, you will be seeing precipitation in the next couple of hours. Trust me, by tonight, you will be wishing that you didn't see any precipitation. If you're hoping for some snow flurries, it's like, oh, well, there might be ice, but at least it'll be snow. Well, you'll be thinking otherwise, when this is all said and done, you'll have more ice, you'll have more problems than you do benefits. And your car doesn't open anymore. And you don't have power for a week, and it's bad. So you don't want precipitation. Take what you have right now for granted, because this might be the last time you have power for several days. Sure. Are there any power outage maps that we can show on stream?
On it now, I'll look.
Because I know the last time I checked, there were some power outages in Texas and Louisiana here. But I don't know right now how much power outages there is.
Check messages.
Alright, so we have around 57,000 people without power in western Texas and northeastern Texas right now. So, Shelby County and Panola County in Texas, you guys have about 35 to you have about a third of your population without power right now. So, yeah, not great. But Louisiana, you have a county, you have DeSoto County with over 50% of your population without power, almost 10,000 customers out right there. This is, again, not a great situation at all. But even Monroe, you have about a quarter of your population without power. That's 20,000 customers right there. It's not good. It's not looking very good right now. And it's looking like already it's a catastrophic situation, power wise. Places like East Carroll County in Louisiana might have a couple hundred people, about 10% of your population without power. Sharkey County, a couple hundred, with maybe around 15% of your uh, population without power. That's the county with Rolling Fork, if you guys remember that. So we will definitely be keeping this, but right now, the Southwestern Electric Power Co., a subcompany of AEP, is currently suffering right now. 100% of Red River County, Texas's people are without power. And obviously, that is not good because that could mean 100% of Red River County, Texas without power for several days. Not something we want. And obviously, I would expect we get more power outages in Mississippi near Tupelo and Greenwood in the future here. I would also expect that areas near Dallas in the future, in the next 30 hours, could lose power. And Little Rock, I expect you to lose power at some point in this event too, for possibly, again, days. And Nashville, the time is now. You are transitioning into sleet right now, which means what's next is transitioning into freezing rain. So if you haven't prepared for freezing rain, it's too late. You had that time. You had several days to lead up, and you don't have that time anymore. So, but at this point, if you haven't prepared, you just gotta hunker down and hope that your power doesn't go out. And if it does go out, you might have to wait several days for power again. It's it's not fun, but it's what we gotta deal with at this point now. And we're gonna take Rob. Take Rob speed here. We have snow reaching Chicago now, and the entirety of Missouri is engulfed by snow. Same with Kentucky. The entirety of the state is engulfed by snow. I would. Most of Illinois is engulfed by snow. We have snow reaching Iowa and reaching places close to Des Moines. Oklahoma City right now, OKC Metro, is seeing the most significant amount of snow right now, most heavy snow, I guess. Um, have Rob McVeigh in Oxford right now, showing us a gas station. You can see the rain puddling, I guess, at the bottom there. And it looks a bit slushy right now instead of freezing rain near Oxford, but that just could be on the ground where the cars are driving. Um, and we don't have any good views of trees. I would imagine this tree right here that he has his camera basically centered on right now. That tree is probably coated with ice, and power outages out of that area could start soon. Dallas, Texas, getting hit by a good amount of snow right now. Looks like we have some. Oh my gosh! It's the brigade of snowplow. Snow. What in the world am I saying? The snow plows. The snow plows are coming in hot. It's the army of snow plows are coming into Dallas, Texas right now. So that's good, I guess. Look at all those snow plows go past. That's insane. Especially for Texas. So snowplows are coming in hot in Dallas, so don't you worry. And West Virginia and Virginia are now getting snow. Salem is now starting to get its first snowfall of the event. And I could be wrong about this, but is this expanding faster than forecasted, perhaps? Do you have any input on that comment, Fear?
I'm currently looking at the new model run, so give me like 5 minutes. I'll get back to you on that.
Alright, just ping me when you're ready. Right now, it is looking likely that the Northeast is about to encounter catastrophic snowfall. Well, I don't say catastrophic, because the snow isn't the damaging part of this system. It is the ice. The ice that is currently impacting areas between Huntsville and Columbia back into Monroe. Which it has been like freezing rain in Monroe for so long. It has been several hours of just constant freezing rain. So I'm not surprised that we're seeing this many power outages in that area. I'm not surprised we are seeing 22,000 people now without power in Monroe. I'm just seeing all these outage percentages and customers out rise by the minute here. We literally just looked at this a couple minutes ago, and it's already rising a lot. This is at 55% before, now it's at 56. Doesn't sound like a lot, but you gain a whole percent in like 5 to 10 minutes, that is a lot. So, it's not an ideal situation. I know we don't have it on our graphic, but there are 25 ice storm warnings in effect right now. And here are all of our warnings. Oh, wait, Rob is showing us some ice in Oxford, Mississippi. On the trees right now. We got some icicles starting to form. We have a look at that. Got some small icicles starting to form right now. But definitely, I would imagine every cold surface is coated with ice right now. So a lot of metal. Maybe besides car hoods and stuff like that, because those are warmer. But metal fences, for example, as we can see, and tree branches are definitely coated with ice in Oxford right now. And it'll only more ice will form on those. It's already quite a bit of ice on those branches there in Oxford, Missouri, or not Missouri, Mississippi. Have I been saying Missouri this whole time? Anyway, Mississippi. There's gonna be more and more ice piling up on top of that, to the point where ice totals start to look similar to snow totals. They could get 1 to 3 inches of snow, but they also could get 1 to 3 inches of ice. And that's just pretty crazy to think about, that they could get as much ice as they do snow. And I mean, clearly, at least in this parking lot and probably on the roads, it's already very slippery, and a lot of the snow is more like slush at this point. And now Rob is showing off his vehicle. Oh wait, no, there's ice on it. Never mind. He is still showing off though, but there's icicles all over the top of his car on all his equipment and stuff. Even his wind vane has icicles coming off of it. What in the world? You don't see that too often. Well, I mean, if you're an ice storm, you do, but ice storms aren't too common, to be fair. So there was Rob McVeigh in Oxford, Mississippi. I'm gonna switch Rob and Nick here. There we go. If we look up here, we have winter storm warnings spanning from the northeast corner of the country almost to the southwest corner. It's in one of the most southwest states, New Mexico, and that's it's insane. It's pretty insane. I think we might lose Rob's feed here. Do you have Corey? Corey, yes, we do. All right. Brad Arnold just went live in Louisville. Never mind. His feed's dead. Awesome. But this is what Louisville could look like right now. Well, actually, this is what it looks like right now. You got some good snowfall in there. Right now, you already have some good snow on the ground. I mean, probably looks 1 inch ish. But they're just starting there in Louisville. That is just the beginning for snow totals there in Louisville, Kentucky. Oklahoma City is still seeing some insane precipitation. Oops, there we go. Look at that. That's like nearly maxing out the color tables for snow. It is quite significant. I'm on the right side. And it's a snowplow. Circling. I think it's a snowplow. Yep. Oxford, Mississippi. Got some snowplows rolling in now. Well, too bad he can't plow ice. But yeah, OKC Metro, El Reno, Weatherford. You got some decently significant. You got some decently significant snow totals starting up here. Let's see if we can fit him right here. Oh yeah, we have so many chasers out right now. Alright, let's go back to our composite view. Looks like some heavy snow bands could approach areas around DFW soon. A couple hours. Maybe that could head up right towards you. You already have some decently heavy snow bands entering areas around Fort Worth and Weatherford. And let's just so this is where we have Rob McVeigh in Oxford, Mississippi. Corey Gherkin, on the bottom left down here, is currently near Amory. He's currently in the Amory area, so um but oops, there goes that. Oh, we're back. Oh, and we're gone. Okay. Alright. Cool. Yo, this snowplow's just doing circles in Oxford, Mississippi right now. Is it finally going? I think it is. That was really weird. It just did circles in the middle of the road. Yeah, you can't see nothing from this. The one time I want cameras on the ground where you can't see the sky. For once. Man. Oh. Alright. So we have Sheer giving us an update.
Really big update. You asked me earlier if it seemed like the storm had expanded a little bit, and my answer to that question is yes. Yes, it has. And I just did a huge deep dive into the recent model
Alright, well, there is a breakdown from here, and we just got an alert we just got a new mesoscale discussion issued for areas in West Texas. Let's go look at that. The summary reads, an increase in precipitation coverage and intensity is expected into the evening. The discussion reads, a potent mid-level shortwave trough can be seen across northern Mexico on water vapor imagery. This trough is starting to take on a negative tilt as it advances towards far west Texas. As this occurs, large-scale ascent will strengthen across the southern high plains, and this will result in an increase in coverage and intensity of precipitation. It's like accumulation of about up to 2.2 inches per hour, and snow accumulations of an inch per hour could be expected in West Texas next couple hours. Yeah, I would like to see what this looks like on satellite, actually. Look at this. Look at that. That looks insane. Huge winter storm. Alright, Oklahoma City, you're finally getting that very heavy snow that you've been waiting for patiently. It's been going to your north a bunch, but looks like you will be getting some pretty heavy snow here very shortly. I think we lost someone's feed here. That feed is gone. Alright, so see if we can get Brad Arnold's feed. No, his is down. If you wanted to know what Tiffin, Ohio looks like, there you go. But the big story right now is the ice accumulation. And where is this for? This is for the United States and around Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, through towards Virginia, Kentucky. Wherever you see blue, that's big snow. Wherever you see pink, like in here, that's like sleet. I have a visual for sleet. I have a graphic here. Sleet is like sprinkles on a donut, okay? And this little salmon maroon color is like freezing rain. That would be like a glazed donut. So there you go there. And this so what Sheer said earlier in summary is, because the low's getting stronger off the coast, and because the low level jet is going to be more defined, stuff like that, it's kind of near Oklahoma and Texas, it's shifting south. Near the northeast, it's shifting north. Which is why yesterday we might have seen DC might get a little bit of ice coating, maybe up to I don't know, 0.05 inches. But now it's looking more likely that DC could get upwards of a quarter of an inch of ice at maximum. But that's a funny way to put it. Well, it's the most American way I can put it, so have fun with that. But this is definitely gonna be a storm to remember for years to come. If there are any images, or preferably images I can show on stream from maybe Oklahoma City or just anywhere where they have heavy snow right now, that would be helpful. Sure. Oh, the windshield wipers were synced? What? And I missed it? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to go back in the stream later. But, oh, did we lose Brett Adair? Yep, we did. Alright, bye bye. Get Brad Arnold? Yeah, trade. We traded. That's what we did. So, Brad Arnold is over here in Louisville, Kentucky, where, they're getting some decent snowfall right now. We have Nick. Oh, wait a minute. Adam. Welcome to the stream, Adam. So that is cool. But yeah, Nashville, you are dead center in the sleet. Next hour, it's gonna be all freezing rain, I would think. We got a new Mexico discussion. We're gonna look at some cameras in Oklahoma City real quick. We can look at this one right here, where we are looking at, where are we looking? I don't actually know. We should probably figure that out. But I believe we should probably look at 140. Okay, apparently the apocalypse is happening on 140 right now, so we're gonna move. Okay, there's snow on these cameras, and I can't see them. Oh my gosh, snow on all these cameras. Okay, there we go. So depending on where this is facing, it's probably facing this way, I would think. Yes. So the snow would be approaching from behind this camera, but you can see what it looks like ahead of the snow. So that's pretty cool. We did get a new message discussion, I think. I don't wait. No, that was Sheer trying to make a comment, and I misinterpreted it. Go ahead, Sheer.
Oh, I was just gonna let you know about there's a lot of cameras in the actual Oklahoma City metro area that are really good and high quality.
All right.
I'm currently looking for cameras in other locations.
All right.
Maybe a place with ice, preferably.
Yeah. So if there's not snow on this camera, there's snow on this camera. That's awesome. Well, we can take. We're gonna take this. We're gonna merge it in here. I can't see it. Never mind. Um. Okay, there's a chance that Nashville is getting its first taste of freezing rain right about now. So hope you're prepared there. Clarksville, your snow fun is about to end here, and it's about to transfer, or yeah, we'll say transition over into sleet. Um, I have a couple cameras here in Tulsa. And we lost Adam. But we have a lot of chasers here in the freezing rain, like Rob McVeigh. Let's bring him full screen. He's looking at the tree branches. I don't know how well the stream's picking it up. There is, he's showing off some ice accumulation on these branches. Did we just lose Rob? Problem base speed? We might have just lost speed. That would be very unfortunate. But we still, just to remind everyone, we have 25 ice storm warnings in effect. About 100-ish winter storm warnings and 2 winter storm watches. We have some cameras for Nashville here. They have been getting quite the amount of snow, so it'll be interesting to see them get freezing rain. This quality is so awesome sauce. But at this point they are driving into sleet, which will turn into freezing rain, and the amount of people I'm seeing on this road right now is concerning me. I don't know why there's this many people driving. There should not be this many people driving right now. Luckily, this is a relatively straight road, at least in this camera, so that's good, I guess. And we'll get some cameras near Memphis, where it's been freezing rain for a while. Oh yeah, look, this camera's freezed over. This camera's got ice on it right now. And there's a car right there. There's another. Why is there so many cars? What in the world? Dude, there's ice on the camera. You should not be driving. Whatever. They are going to do what they're going to do. For some reason. But I think, did we lose Rob? Do I just need to refresh his feed? Oh, he's gone. Oh, that sucks. We have lost Rob's feed now. And we're gonna check back on our Oklahoma City cameras here in a second. We can get a camera on the northwest side. That's where snow's gonna be first. Oh my gosh. More looks like the apocalypse out there. Anyway, let's try this camera. There we go. Yeah, here we can see some of that snow falling down now in Oklahoma City. Currently looking at I believe no North 122nd. Okay. Let's see if we have any cameras in near Dallas we can look at. Plenty actually, so let's okay, realistically, we wouldn't be seeing that much snow right now, so let's look in downtown Oklahoma City, where heavy snow is not moving in, and this camera is not. So we can already see the snow is engulfing the roads, so it's already not safe to drive. And then there's probably a little bit of ice on top of this too, from just snow melting on the roads and refreezing. So definitely a dangerous situation with the black ice on the roads. And we can see some of the skyscrapers in the back, but we have bigger problems in areas like, Florence, Alabama, and Greenwood, Tupelo, Mississippi. We have been live for 2.5 hours. That's fun. Alright, so we do have, again, we have maybe snow and flurries reaching all the way towards Richmond already. And, yesterday in the models, it was looking like we wouldn't get flurries in Richmond until, later tonight, closer to maybe 8 p.m. local time. And same with the DC. We don't quite have flurries there yet, but they could be coming soon. You can see that there is still, it's like a ball of dry air right here, but it is, there's some lone showers in it, and I would think the area is getting smaller, the dry air. But we do know that at some point there's going to be a huge burst of precipitation right in this area. It's going to be moving northeast. It's going to move northeast right into Little Rock. Since it's actually going to be more something like this, it's going to be moving northeast. So areas like Pine Bluff, Little Rock, Jonesboro, Memphis. You're actually getting a break from the freezing rain. Unfortunately, that will not last too much longer. And Brad Arnold just lost signal. So obviously, things are not going ideal in a lot of places right now. A lot of chasers have been losing signal today. But it is definitely a concerning trend, especially on the models like Sheer mentioned earlier. Let's look at some cameras from Mississippi, maybe near Tupelo. I would imagine normally this is a very busy road in a very busy area. The fact I've only seen about 5 cars since I full screened this is, I guess it's better than having a ton of cars on the road, definitely. But, we also have um we can see that there's also crashes on I-55. Right now, we can see that several places actually. In fact, we have a road closed, but I believe that's just for road work and inspection. But couple car crashes on I-55, and we have, I would expect even more. In fact, I think they closed this stretch of road as well. Probably. Oh my gosh, what in the world? Oh my gosh, this is so iced over. What in the world? See, this is what ice does. You cannot see through it anymore because it's so iced over. That is crazy. I can't imagine how the roads are at that point then. Let's see if Rob's back. Yes, he is. He's spying on people. Switch Brad Arnold and Rob. But freezing rain continues for a lot of areas here, and there's no signs of it stopping. I'm gonna ask that Sheer kind of give some commentary real quick while I go deal with something. So, if you could do that for me, that'd be great.
Yeah. Yep. I'm just, you can give it time to breathe. I'm opening up my radar. Okay. There's a lot going on right now. Let's take a look at what's going on in Oklahoma. You guys can see it from the big radar there. Currently, the forecast for snow totals, there seems to be a band of about 8 to 12 inches, probably in the middle, about 10 inches of snow through the middle of Oklahoma going up towards the southwest part of Missouri. That continues to expand and grow as the storm evolves. We'll see that here over the next couple hours. As it really starts to come together, the trough really starts to eject into that high pressure that's carrying all this cold air, and it intensifies as it goes towards the East Coast. We'll see that area of snow kind of expand and increase in coverage and intensity as well. As we get to about Boston area, we can expect maybe 20 to 22 inches of snow. Something that I have noticed that I said earlier is that the storm itself seems to be a lot stronger than anticipated. Probably only by a few millibars, but that's enough where the trough is a little more mature earlier on, and that's going to shift all the totals farther north. So places in southern Kentucky where we were expecting maybe 8 inches of snow might be more like 6, maybe even 5 or 4 inches in some places, especially in the southeastern parts. It looks like Tennessee is going to miss a majority of the snow. Maybe a maximum of 2 to 4 inches, especially along the northern parts of the Tennessee border. It's now switching over to mostly mixed precipitation and freezing rain. Mississippi, it looks like it's going to be all freezing rain. Let me confirm this real quick. I'm going to take a look at the Euro model. GFS has been a little wild. So the Euro model has things a little bit farther south still, by 100 hours from the 12Z run, which is 8 hours ago. The snow totals are about 8 inches in southern Kentucky and into parts of northwestern Tennessee, it's about 6 inches of snow. The line where the freezing rain begins is a little farther south, so places like West Virginia and just east of the mountains there in Maryland might get a little boost of snow as the moisture isn't as the excuse me, the temperature, the warm nose isn't as expansive. It doesn't reach as far north, which will limit the freezing rain, but also bring the snow totals in the northeast up closer to 2 feet, especially in areas like Boston.
All right, so you heard it there. I only got the part about Mississippi and Boston, but knowing Sheer, I imagine that was pretty insightful for a lot of you. But Oklahoma City, the heavy snow is moving in right now. Memphis, you're gonna be getting a break for a little bit before this precipitation really explodes. You're gonna get a little break from the freezing rain. Unfortunately, Tupelo and Oxford, you will not be getting any break until the event is over. Chattanooga, you're kind of on the freezing line here, so you could be getting freezing rain, could be getting rain. Either way, you're getting rain, and you're probably getting at least a little bit of ice, so I would recommend staying off the roads there. Honestly, if you're under any color on this map right now, you shouldn't be driving. Unless it's like green, then I guess you're fine. But otherwise, should not be driving. But Columbus, it's snowing near you now. No, it doesn't look like it, but I think the precipitation type is just a little slow on picking that up right now. But same as Chicago and Fort Wayne. Richmond, you're getting some snow too. And DC, it is approaching for some of you guys in DC. I know how you guys are. You guys like snow. So it's coming, don't worry. It's looking decently calm for the Little Rock area as of now. It looks like maybe some dry air is even pushing further north, closer to St. Louis. This dry air is really packing more of a punch than I think the models expected here. But I do think that the dry air will fade, no matter No matter what happens, the dry air will get kicked out, and there will be precipitation here. But just right now, I think the dry air is a bit stronger than forecasted. That doesn't mean that St. Louis, even though I said, oh, dry air's getting up there towards St. Louis, doesn't mean you should be like, oh, I guess I prepared for nothing. You're preparing for something. What you're preparing for is what's happening right now. Heavy snow. Right? So, you did not prepare for nothing. You prepared for big something. No big nothing. New Orleans, you're getting just heavy rain and maybe even a couple rumbles of thunder here. Especially if you're in Franklin, Louisiana. Even though your friends to the north are suffering from ice, you're just suffering from lightning. You are suffering from success. But areas near Franklin should be inside as there is lightning being produced. And that can always be dangerous. Tupelo, you are still getting freezing rain, I know. Feels unreal how much freezing rain you've been getting, but you're still getting freezing rain, unfortunately. Joplin, you're getting some good snow right now. Tulsa, you're getting some good snow. Oklahoma City, you're getting some great snow. El Reno, you're getting some amazing snow. Dallas, you're getting some snow showers. You know, some snow showers forming here. Near. You know what? This is very interesting. DFW is kind of on the line between freezing rain and snow right now, so any showers, precipitation showers that come in here will either produce ice or snow. Preferably snow, but it looks like freezing rain could be taking over here in some areas. Chicago, you're getting some snow right now. Hope you're liking that. Chicago, you are getting some nice snow. South Bend, you're getting some flurries. Same with Fort Wayne, you're getting some flurries. Columbus, you're getting your first flurries of the event. Richmond, Ohio is just now getting to some decent snow totals, or decent snowfall, I should say. Richmond, you're getting some flurries right now, and you may even have some little bit of snow over here near Charlottesville, Virginia. I know, this wasn't supposed to happen for another like 5-ish hours, but it's happening now, and that's because of low pressure being stronger than forecasted. And I think we just lost Rob and Brandon. We lost both of them. That's awesome sauce. Let's try Brad Arnold again. Yep, Brad Arnold's back. He jump scared me for sure too. We'll check on Adam. He is back. Get him up there. Check Copic. Nope, he's still out. Brett Adair. We'll take his feet. although in Tupelo might look like this outside, precipitation wise, it will soon look closer to this outside. Except the snow would be ice. Not something you want. Illinois, looks like you're getting some you're getting some pretty good snowfall up there in Illinois and Indiana right now. Central Missouri is kind of getting some lower end snowfall right now. And Asheville, North Carolina, might be getting its first taste of freezing rain here now, as some of that precipitation makes it their way. Again, this is the same place that saw catastrophic flooding and damages in Hurricane Helene about 2-ish years ago. Alright. Pikeville, you are getting some pretty good snowfall here. I would call that moderate snowfall right there. It's pretty moderate snowfall I've seen any. You know, if you are in these darker blue regions over here, down here, you know, maybe even over here and down here, those are the regions where you're getting that heavy precipitation. I'm gonna have some snow off Virginia Beach. This is expanding east significantly faster than forecasted. And next model runs will give more information about that. But I'm actually not sure when we will see our next. Oh, what in the world just happened? Something bad just happened. Whatever happened, we're back, and we were gonna look at models, but then that happened. But we're gonna look at models anyway. We can already see that the new model runs are already saying are showing it shifting north. If we take this and go model trend, it's been shifting to the north. Oh, look, let's go to the very beginning. Boom, 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 boom. It's been shifting to the north every time. So as it's shifting to the north, that also means that this low pressure down here is just doing all kinds of stuff. Or this is probably this is about the time when we decided, boom, bad things about to happen. Right here when we saw 2 inches. But what I am going to do is 18Z's probably, yeah, 18Z's when we, the last full run. So let's see here. Let's see. We'll pick a location here. We'll say, we've been mentioning Oklahoma City quite a bit. How much snow will they get? Let's find out. They could get anywhere between 5, I would say closer to 7 and 10 inches at this point. This is based off of the HRRR 18Z model run. If we were to move east, like St. Louis, maybe up to a foot up there in St. Louis. Moving down, maybe Evansville, Indiana. 18 inches, 1.5 feet right there. Maybe just moving a bit further east, we could see up to 2 feet of snow in southeast Indiana and southwest Ohio. Speaking of Ohio, Columbus, maybe 20 some inches. Or Cincinnati. Dude, where even am I? Okay, well, that's awesome. Oh, woohoo! Greenville, Mississippi is seeing a heavy freezing rain at this point, along with around 16-mile-per-hour winds. What we're gonna do next is check the wrap at the 21Z. Here it goes about to tomorrow around 6 p.m. This is how far that goes out. Check again, Oklahoma City, about 7 to 10 inches. St. Louis, about 7 to 10 inches. Bit less than the HRRR. And not 2 feet in the Ohio River Valley, but pretty close. Still significant. Over what she was talking about in West Virginia and portions of Maryland, amplified snow totals upwards of 17 inches. Now in Maryland, let's talk about Washington, D.C., possibly 10 inches. Baltimore, 8 to 10 inches. So Philadelphia, about a foot. New York, about a foot and a half. Boston, we can't give you an accurate forecast with this model just yet. In fact, in New York, your totals just went up with the next update. What in the world? Well, I guess I won't give you an accurate forecast for Maryland, Pennsylvania, and North and East just yet, just because the models haven't fully reached that yet, and it's actually actively updating as we speak. So Baltimore said like 10 inches before, closer to 11 now. DC is still 10 inches still. Pittsburgh, maybe foot and a half. But New York said 15 inches about 30 seconds ago. Now it says 18. See, can't give you an accurate forecast just yet there. Mere other models that's confused me. Alright, why is this up here? And now it's better. Let's check Jaden Pappenheim. Nope. He's a no-go. What about Kopic? He's a yes go. Brett Arnold already have up about Rob. Did we I think he lost feed completely. Yeah, he's completely cut out. I don't have up here is Pappenheim, and he is currently without signal, so that's unfortunate. We have two mesoscale discussions as of now. One is talking about winter mixed precipitation, the other freezing rain. Areas around Lubbock could be getting significant snowfall right now. And I am going to go refill my water if Sheer wants to take over for a second here.
Not much new to update right now. We're definitely seeing an uptick in precipitation in a whole, or as a whole, especially over the last hour or so. The latest RAP model has it's interesting because this storm has kind of been showing up as a 1-2 punch and then merging into a system for the East Coast, essentially. But the RAP model has taken that second piece of energy and made it less pronounced and the original piece, the one that's currently producing the freezing rain over parts of Mississippi, the dominant energy. And what's interesting is that when the two of them meet, the eastern one is a little bit farther south and a little bit more intense, which could extend the amount of time that the Northeast has snowfall. I currently have the full run up for the 21Z, and it does look like Boston is supposed to get 25 inches of snow. Parts of Connecticut looks like around 20 inches, so 16 to 20, I would say. Especially pushing up towards the northeast side of Connecticut, you might get closer to the 2 feet range. Parts of Cape Cod and the islands, probably somewhere between 14 and 17 inches of snow, especially the farther west you go, closer towards Boston. That is the center of the totals in the Northeast. That's using the Kuchera ratio, which is a different total than the 10-to-1 because it accounts for different types of snow and mixed precipitation accumulation on top of it. If we look at the total snow, this could be our lower end where we've got 17 inches of snow in Boston, parts of Connecticut, 12 to 14 inches of snow, Rhode Island, 15 inches of snow, parts of the Cape and islands getting 15 inches of snow. It's a lot more spread out and kind of the same amount of totals. So we don't get that bullseye over the center in Boston like we do with the Kuchera ratio model. And that's because it accounts for a different type of snow. The temperatures right now over parts of the South and Texas and Oklahoma right now seem to be lingering around the low teens. Parts of Mississippi, it's like 30 degrees, especially closer to the surface. That's why we're having that freezing rain. It's warmer aloft and cooler at the surface. So we got the rain falling normally, and then it hits that cold layer and freezes, especially on contact because the ground is better at conducting the heat than the air is. We're going to see this cold air really advance tonight, push east. It might get as low as 3 degrees in Oklahoma City. Parts of Texas, especially in the north, are going to get close to 0 degrees. Places in the high plains, Kansas, Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota, you're going to see well below 0 temperatures. I'm talking like -15 is possible, especially overnight into the early morning hours. That cold is going to linger. This is not a normal low pressure cold front situation. This is a full-on high pressure Arctic blast. It's going to want to sit here over the United States. So over the next couple days, we're going to see temperatures, especially up in Minnesota, -20, -25 degrees. As you get further south, the air is really shallow. And this goes back to that freezing rain problem. That air is going to kind of fix itself. It's going to cool down aloft as it goes to the northeast. That storm system is really going to convert to mostly snow.
All right. So Right now we are looking at Brett Adair's feed in Marshall County, Mississippi, where we were just looking at a power line that was iced over with icicles coming off of the wires. This is the type of ice that will cause power outages. And that's how they cause power outages. They freeze onto those power lines, and eventually they snap. The wires will snap under the weight. The poles will stop working. They might topple over. Like, that's how you lose power. That's just ice on the power poles. So that's what we just saw on Brett Adair's feed just then. So we are going to, switch these two out. And so Brett Adair is currently just near Myrtle, Mississippi. This is northwest of Tupelo, northeast of Oxford. And okay, well, we reached that time. Nashville is completely engulfed by freezing rain. If you are in Nashville, it might just look like it started raining. That's freezing rain. This is what's gonna cause your power outages. It's gonna continue for the rest of the event at this point, basically. Um, uh, I do want to touch base on the viral exploding trees risk in Minnesota here. Um, Exploding trees does not mean the trees are literally going to explode from the cold. What's going to happen is, since these temps are so low, -8, -6 at peak heating, by the way. So this is like why is it 91 here? What in the world? That's a weird glitch. It is not 90.7 degrees in North Dakota right now. It is -6. Oh, I almost walked into a dangerous sentence there. -8 degrees in most areas here. Maybe some areas are even -13 at peak heating, right? And once these temperatures get to around below 20 under, so that's -20 and below, that's when that's when the sap and water inside of the trees freeze, expand, and build up pressure, but they don't explode, they crack. And it's pretty violent when it does crack. It makes a gunshot noise, but that does not mean there's gonna be wood chips flying through your windows if there is exploding trees. So no, the trees aren't going to explode. It's more it's just gonna crack. So we're gonna watch this video. It can look just like that. So that is what exploding trees looks like, and that is what could happen here. I will say that the north side of that dry air patch does look to be closing up with precipitation. I know not too long ago we did not have any precipitation in Poplar Bluff, and barely reached Cape Girardeau, but those are now it's completely snowing there. Used to look like this. This is what our dry air used to look like not too long ago. You know, it was like a thumbs up kind of shape. Now it is more of just a blob. And we will see this dry air kind of not be dry anymore. But I mispronounced it. That was Cape Girardeau. There we go. Cape Girardeau. Girardeau. We just lost Brett Adair's feed. Unless I just have to refresh it. Nope, it's gone. That's awesome. So, I'd say we're probably gonna stay live for probably another 30 minutes to an hour here. And then we're gonna close up the live stream. But as of right now, it's looking like things will be ramping up to a point where we might have to go live again later. Because what I need to do is lay my eyes off of the computer for a couple hours. Because that is all I've been doing all day, tracking this storm. So, probably in the next 30 minutes here, we're gonna close up and we're gonna possibly come back in a couple hours, possibly around 7 p.m. depending on how much has changed, which I would imagine by then, we're following him. Let's not do that. Boom. I would imagine that by then our dry patch would go from this closer to this. So possibly by then Little Rock would be just about to get some snow. But that's probably but that is our plan for the rest of this stream. So this is also my longest stream, but anyway. In Dallas, you guys have just been getting snow showers and freezing rain showers back to back to back. I think that's gonna keep going for a while here. So, you guys in the DFW Metro, I think are just gonna keep getting more and more snow. It's gonna pile up from these snow showers. And again, places in the Meldarva Peninsula, which definitely would not be getting snow this early, according to the models, is getting at least some type of precipitation. But if we look at the temperatures, it is almost definitely snow. Temperatures are around 20 to 18 degrees in this area. So if those are accurate, which, judging by how consistent it is, that is snow in the Meldarva Peninsula about 5 hours, 5 to 6 hours before they should be getting any snow. And again, so that is snow all the way from New Mexico to the East Coast. There's just a hole right here where there is a lack of precipitation and a ton of dry air. Judging by the amount of showers, snow showers we're seeing, I feel like that the air is definitely going to there's definitely gonna snow or freezing rain. There's gonna be snow or freezing rain in this area pretty darn soon. Let me see if Brett Adair's up. Brad Arnold is up. So, but yeah, let's look at somewhere where it is snowing, like Tulsa. Let's see what Tulsa looks like right now. And it's looking like a winter wonderland. There's a second camera in Tulsa where it looks like a winter wonderland. I'm looking at Gage, Kentucky, where it is snowing quite heavily, actually, outside of this building. The snow lovers in Gage, Kentucky are loving every second of this. Tons of snow falling in Gage, Kentucky right now. Western Kentucky is getting a lot of snow right now. So, Cape Girardeau, you're getting a ton of snow right now. St. Louis, you're getting quite the amount of snow as well. Kansas City, you're getting quite the amount of snowfall. Snowing quite heavily in a lot of these areas over here. A lot of these areas that I'm highlighting right now, it is snowing quite heavily. And, tomorrow we will be live again, most likely, and we will be covering a different area. We will be covering primarily covering this area tomorrow, with maybe touching up on maybe some aftermath in Mississippi and over here. That's what tomorrow's gonna be like. But let's focus on today. Where at this point, Nashville is starting the probably historic stretch of freezing rain. It is a historic stretch. Nashville is now just starting a historic stretch of freezing rain that will last into tomorrow. Same with Knoxville and Clarksville. Almost the majority of Tennessee is in freezing rain right now. The only parts are far northwest and far northeast Tennessee and areas around Memphis and Jackson, Tennessee, where there is no precipitation right now. The snow lovers are loving this. We're gonna wait another 15-ish minutes here maybe less if nothing of importance really sticks out to me. We're going to start to close upstream. So in the meantime, we're going to cover tomorrow's slight risk of severe weather. Today we just have a general risk for basically some rumbles of thunder down here. But tomorrow we have a slight risk of severe weather issued for a 5% tornado risk and a 15% wind risk. With this, we will go to the HRRR model and kind of focus in on this severe weather threat. So right about now could look something like this. And as we move into tomorrow, we can see a line of storms begins to develop around Mississippi and Alabama. This will probably be freezing rain before it enters Alabama, though. And then we have a couple kind of blips coming up from the Gulf of Mexico, just north of Florida. As this line matures near Montgomery, Alabama. Our tornado threat will primarily come from this area right in here, between the Gulf of Mexico and Birmingham. And kind of the area I'm circling with my mouse right now, this will be the target area for severe weather. The line will continue past the tornado threat into Georgia before kind of fizzling away into nothingness by the time it reaches South Carolina. And they did issue a 5% tornado risk for this region between Montgomery and the Gulf of Mexico over towards Tallahassee and New Orleans. So we will be covering tomorrow's live stream will be over this risk here, the ice risk right in here. Yeah, let's color code this. Woohoo. We'll do tornado threat in red, covering this, covering the ice in purple. And I'll be covering the snow in blue. So really, the area that's probably gonna get the most coverage because it's overlapping is the probably DC area, where they could get some freezing rain and ice, and some big snow totals. This also for Philadelphia, the I-90 corridor will probably get the most coverage tomorrow. DC, Baltimore, Philadelphia, New York, and to Boston will get the most coverage tomorrow probably, with some secondary coverage near Montgomery and Tallahassee, and then maybe towards Chicago, Fort Wayne, and Columbus, and Ohio. We will also not have shear in just a voice call tomorrow. Shear is going to be chasing in Massachusetts. He will be chasing in this region right in here. And we will hopefully have some of his feed up possibly replacing one of these chasers over here. But that is where we are expecting the most snow, so it would be interesting to see that. To get a general idea of where we are covering tomorrow, I will highlight it in green, and it will be this area that I'm highlighting now. For in the green, we're going to be covering you tomorrow. So that includes Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, up towards Maine, New York, and Michigan. Tomorrow we are expecting the most snow out of this event so far in areas like the Ohio Valley, Pittsburgh, and Massachusetts, of course. So areas that could get significant snow would be, Massachusetts area, Ohio River Valley, into Pittsburgh. Significant icing could occur near Asheville and Atlanta, Georgia. Maybe even up into Virginia a little bit there. And obviously, the most significant tornado threat will be right in here. With all this information and the noticeable lack of any new significant developments, besides the lack of precipitation near in western Tennessee here, we will be closing up our live stream here, especially because we just lost like all of our Chasers feeds. It's gonna cut all that. So to recap, we started the stream around 3.5 hours ago when a devastating and historic winter storm began across the area you see now, except slightly further to the west, and is now here. We will be live again either later tonight or even tomorrow, possibly. And I'll update you guys on stream potential in my Discord server linked below. So if you guys want to hear the next time I go live for severe weather or winter weather, join my Discord server. Link is below. And with this information in mind, I think both me and Sheer will say goodbye. So, I'll let Sheer say some words, and we'll head on out.
Everybody, make sure you stay off the roads. I know you might want to go somewhere today and tomorrow and into Monday, but it's just better. You're better off staying home. Honestly, it's not worth the risk.
Alright, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed. See you next time, and goodbye. Thank you.